Alright, I'm Cikgu Natasha. Okay, so I'll be talking about SPM campaign for subjects mathematics. So please be ready, not only your calculator, but your brain, yourself, for the techniques of answering mathematics paper 1 and paper 2 SPM 2022. Alright, without further ado, let's move on to the first slide. Okay. Alright, what you're going to get from the session today, so I emphasize on 5 items, okay, as our learning objective, okay. So at the end of the lesson today, okay, you'll be able to analyze what are the topics coming out, okay, what are the topics coming out for SPM 2021 and SPM 2022 from Form 1 and Form 3. Surprise! Is it the first time you hear it? It's Form 1 to Form 3. Yes. And of course, we will proceed with the SPM 2021 and SPM 2022 topic analysis for Form 4 and for Form 5. So, please start to change your mindset now, because at first, generally, most of my students used to think that okay, mathematics SPM is only all about Form 4 and Form 5 topics. That's it. No, you are so wrong. So please do remember, starting from Form 1 until Form 3, all the topics are significant and will be used as the continuation, and that will develop your better understanding in basic mathematics for your better preparation for SPM mathematics. Okay. And after that, I will introduce and I will share with you the answering tips of Paper 1 Mathematics together with Paper 2 and any sport topics. Let's see. Alright. Okay, let's start with our topic analysis from Form 1 until Form 3. And guess what? You started to see, okay, it's quite small, sorry, let's go and, okay, alright. Let's go one by one. Okay, as you can see here, alright, this is from Form 1 until Form 3. If you notice, I am not really separating all the Form 1 topics as one. I'm not categorizing all the Form 2 and all the Form 3 topics. Why? Because there are some Form 1 topics that also be taught again and deeper in Form 2. And there are some Form 2 topics that are taught again and deeper in Form 3. So which means there are some topics that is being taught overlapping, but the first time you learn that topic is meant to teach you the basic or introduction, to build the basic of that knowledge. And after that, you still okay, you survive, and you go to Form 2, you're still learning the same thing, but you already have the good base. So what happened? Form 2 lesson for that topic will be very, very easy. Okay? So start to learn from Form 1, alright? Okay, let's take a look at the first one here. Rational number, okay? It's not came out at all from SPM 2021 and SPM 2022. Factors and multiplies, not really. Okay. Square, square roots, cube and cube roots, no. Okay, please do remember, I would like to remind you again, this is just for Paper 2. Paper 1, for 42 objective questions, everything can come out. In fact, one question can combine all the 2 chapters as a one question, or can be both or more than 3 chapters in one question or as a one question. So please be careful. It can happen in Paper 2 as well. Okay? Oh, we'll see. Ratio, rates and proportion. It started to come out in SPM 2022. Same goes to algebraic, linear equations. Okay, nothing for linear inequalities, because you know you will see linear inequalities again in the Form 5, right? But because in Form 5 you learn about drawing the linear inequalities diagram and graph. Okay, lines and angles, all right. Okay, polygons for Paper 1 for sure come out. This is favorite question in Paper 1. Okay. Alright, next, perimeter and area, data handling or statistic. Okay, it can be the graph you learn, the leaf and stem, okay, dot plots, okay. Pythagoras theorem is the favorite one, because you will see again Pythagoras theorem will be used in the Form 3 lessons under the topic of trigonometric ratio. because you learn trigonometric ratio. Yes, it's all about the right angle triangle. But then, if you don't have a basic knowledge and a good knowledge about Pythagoras theorems, you will be really suffering in Form 3 lessons. And guess what? That is also the favorite topics and questions in SPM. Okay, then you have patterns and sequence. Okay, came out last time in SPM 2021. Okay, then let's go to the next one. Okay, we go to algebraic formula. Nothing came out. Okay, circles. I combine with Form 2 and Form 3 topics here because what is the difference? Form 2 topics you will learn more likely something to do with calculating the area of a sector, area of the circles, and calculating something like the length of arc, perimeter of the sector. Okay, calculate the area of shaded region. So it's all about the angles and the circle. But when you go again to Form 3, you learn about the properties of angles in the circles. Okay, there are a few properties. So it's actually not really a continuation topic, but they are still talking about the same item, which is circles. All right, you still need to have a basic of it, because if you don't know what is radius, if you don't know what is the theta or the angles, if you don't know what is the concept of the perimeter and so on, you will be having difficulty in understanding Form 3 lessons. Okay. Three-dimensional geometric shapes, more on calculating the volumes. Okay, it's not coming out. Coordinates, nope, because sometimes coordinates, they will combine with another chapter. For example, it can be in graph or function questions, because when you need to draw graph, in the first thing is they will ask you to plot points. So if you don't know coordinates, how you're going to plot points? Okay, so that is actually the basic thing where coordinate doesn't come out as a huge questions, as a coordinates questions alone, but it will come up with the combinations of some other topics that usually related to graph. Okay, and don't forget, coordinate is very important when you are learning transformation chapter, not only in Form 2 but also in Form 5. Okay, because without the coordinates you cannot identify the image of the coordinates and image of the object. Okay, the way you write down the coordinate also very important. So even though I put coordinates none here, it's still there hiddenly, okay, backing up the other chapters. So please be careful. Graph of functions is not came out. Same goes to speed and acceleration. But do remember, even though speed and acceleration does not literally come out as the one big question, it also can come out okay, under the speed time graph, or we call as the distance time graph topics in Form 5. Okay, straight line, consider quite favorite topics here because it came out in both years, 2021 and 2022. Okay, be careful. Indices, of course, not quite famous in paper 2, but very famous in paper 1. Standard form, yeah, it's also quite famous for paper 1, not really for paper 2, but we never know what will happen in SPM 2023. All of a sudden, pump, surprisingly, standard form comes out as one of the big question in paper 2. Only God knows. So just be careful and be ready. Okay, consumer maths. This is what happened recently to my Form 5 student. Teacher, we don't really think that investment savings still will come out as a big question. Yes, it's a sad news to tell you that it is still can come out, even though you've learned consumer maths again in Form 4 and Form 5, and I think it's way easy. But then you still need to go back to your Form 3 lesson. You need to go back to your Form 3 books to study about savings, investment, credit, and debits. Okay, it still come out, and surprisingly, it can come out as a big question, and the marks allocated is huge. I can say 5 marks and above. Okay, it's not only 1 to 2 marks questions. All right. Scale drawing, not coming out at all for SPM 2021, 2022, but it can come out this year. We never know, or it might not come out. Okay. Plans and elevations came out in 2021, not in 2022. And loci in 2 dimensions, not really in both years, but we never know this year. Okay, so if you can see just for Form 1 and Form 3, you will see it's been distributed randomly, or it's scattered randomly, which means like we don't really have any particular pattern that only these chapters will come out, and only that chapter will not be come out, not be tested. No, it's just been scattered, distributed randomly. It can be anything to come out, right? Okay, so let's continue with our Paper 2 analysis topics, but it's only for Form 4 and Form 5. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, as you can see, okay, let's go back to the previous slide. Form 1 and Form 3, you see a lot of white color one. Okay, that means not many topics were tested in Paper 2. Okay, but then when you go to Form 4, Form 5, wow, you see lots of blue colors. That means there were lots of topics came out in SPM. Yeah, because it's SPM. So most likely it will be Form 4 and Form 5 topics compared to the white color topics which not been out. Okay. And who said that if it's already came out in SPM 2021, it won't come out again in 2022 SPM? No such thing. If you can see the patterns, operation on set came out both years. Okay. Network and graph theory came out both years. Linear inequalities, graph of motions, measures of dispersion, probability. What else? Matrices, consumer maths. This is favorite topics. Okay. Financial management, insurance. Okay, what else? Congruency, enlargement, transformations, ratios and graph of trigonometric functions, measures of dispersion. All came out twice. You can see it came out twice. So it can comes out also this year. It can come out thrice. So we never know what will happen this year. So please don't, make a conclusion. Once it already came out, it won't come out. Oh, it's already came out twice lah, teacher. It's already came out in SPM 2021 and 2022. It's quite impossible to come out again in 2023. Don't ever dare to say that. Alright? And again, mathematical modeling is not really being asked here because actually, what is actually mathematical modeling? I always told my student, mathematical modeling is all the topics that you have learned since you were in Form 1. The moment you've been given a problem of mathematics and you use one formula, you use one system to solve that mathematical problem, that is actually a mathematical modeling. For example, linear graph, okay? The graph, the inequalities where you need to identify the inequalities based on the situation given. After that, you draw the graph to find the solution. That is mathematical modeling already. Okay. In fact, the quadratic equations that you solve, it's already a mathematical modeling. So anything that requires maths, formula maths, and there are steps there, it's already a mathematical modeling. So there is no specific question from mathematical modeling to be tested because I could say all of these are maths modeling. Okay. Let's go to the disclaimer part. Alright, so this is what I always advise my student. Please do remember your main reference book is always your SPM Mathematics Form 4, especially when it comes to consumer mathematics. Okay, because consumer maths, the explanation given in the textbook can be the answer scheme. Sometimes the explanation in terms of the sentences, okay, the sentences given, the terms used, okay, the techniques, okay, or the steps shown how to calculate taxation, how to calculate road tax, how to calculate the insurance, co-insurance, deductible and everything. Preferably, please use the SPM Maths textbook as your main guideline. Follow their step one by one, okay? Can you buy another extra reference books for your reference, for your revision? Can, but take it as your additional revision materials. Okay, you can use it as for, doing all the extra exercise there after you're done with your SPM textbook. Okay, and again, for SPM syllabus, it's a very, very wide scope. So we cannot target. There is no such thing as this chapter won't be coming out. Totally different from KBSM formula. KBSM format. Why? KBSM format is very easy. You know, section B, only these topics will be tested. Section C, this topic won't be tested at all. But for KSSM, anything is possible. Nothing is impossible. Alright? Okay. Then do not presume. This is a warning. I already told you when I just shared the topic analysis just now. Do not presume any topics that is not out for 2021, 2022 will be tested in 2023. Okay? Alright. Okay, are you ready for the next part? Okay, yes, let's go. So, how to answer paper 1? Okay, so let's take a look at the tips. Okay, there are 40 questions. Okay, you've been given 1 hour, 30 minutes to answer 40 objective questions. But then the complaint, the feedback that I always get from my student, every year without fail. Teacher, we don't have enough time to do. Teacher, we don't have, teacher, the last question I can't even calculate. Teacher, for the last 10 questions, I simply do A, B, C, D. I don't even have time to read the question. I don't have time to do. Teacher, I don't do well for paper 1 because the same reason, I don't have time. So how to do it? How to solve that problem? Teacher, I don't have enough time. So your problem is not about maths and the paper now. It's the time management. So how to solve this problem? So just stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Once you come back, I will tell you the secrets and the tips. Okay? Stay tuned.